Hello everyone, I'm Brian Qualls, counselor at Hickman County High School. Today I come to you to talk about QPR. Jennifer Harris asked me to give my personal testimony on how I deal with QPR. A couple of years ago, we did a class on safety with children and teens. So one of the classes, I believe Miss Harris spoke, and she introduced QPR. As a counselor, I'd heard of it, I've seen it, but not looked in it too much because I felt like I thought I knew what I was doing when it came to suicide prevention. However, as I listened to her and we discussed things in the class, I learned some new tactics. It's an app for your phone through Samhsa, S-A-M-H-S-A. It is a great app and how to dealing with someone who may be suicidal. It has conversation starters and follow-up questions. So that night after her class, I downloaded the app. The very next day at school, I was called about a student who may be suicidal. So quickly I brought up the app, looked at the conversation starters and the follow-up questions. With that, I followed it to a T. And it was amazing how it worked. For years prior to that, I beat around the bush, wouldn't really ask the question, just kind of felt the student out. But this time, I was straight up. Sally or Jimmy, are you thinking about killing yourself? How are you thinking about killing yourself? Do you have a plan? These are questions and follow-up questions that was in the app that I found very, very useful. I would highly recommend you downloading this app. I believe there's also cue cards that you can get as well, and follow it to a T. It's very simple and very straightforward, and I've learned that as I've done this, be very simple and straightforward. It works well. So I come to you and plead with you, don't be afraid to ask that question. For years and years, I just tried to beat around the bush, or you think of hurting yourself or thinking of doing something to yourself, but I would never come out with a question. Are you thinking of committing suicide? Or are you thinking of killing yourself? It was amazing how well and how easy it was once I decided to use those terms. So I would ask you, look this up on your computer. Go online, Samhsa. I've been doing this for 12 years. In the last 2, this is what I've been doing. And I would not recommend anything else. Ask the questions. If you're afraid to ask the question, get someone to ask it. Because it's someone's life that you're dealing with. And we do not want to mess with that. Don't be afraid. Ask. Question, persuade, and refer. QPR, folks. Don't be afraid.